The Haunted Mansion at Disneyland is under a very long refurbishment, ostensibly to change the queue for the ride. But there's a new rumor out of WDWNT that says that they might be making a change to the iconic opening of the ride. There was My Way, but My Way might not exist anymore. All of you Disney fans should know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me today is Marvin, the movie monster. Marvin?
Hello, yes, the theme park reporter for That Park Place.
That's right.
You.
I am so glad that you pointed that out. That was the first thing that was going to be out of my mouth after welcoming you here to the channel. You're doing a fantastic job over there on That Park Place.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's super fun. It's a dream gig, and I love being a part of the team. So, you know, even when I have to report on stories like the one that we're talking about today.
Yeah, this is a cloudy one here, and for those of you who have stuck around to find out, if you didn't know what we're talking about here, Disneyland rumored to remove major moment from the Haunted Mansion to make it more PC, and I'm assuming that doesn't mean personal computer. The Haunted Mansion is one of the premier attractions in any Disney park, from versions of the iconic ride in both Disneyland and Walt Disney World to attractions like Phantom Manor in Disneyland Paris. I'm hearing Phantom Manor is the ultimate form of the ride, by the way.
I have heard really good things about Phantom Manor. I've never actually seen it myself.
Yeah, and Mystic Manor in Hong Kong Disneyland. This is so distinct that I think they could bring it over to the States and no one would give them any trouble about having, quote unquote, two haunted mansions.
I think the concept of two haunted mansions that were completely different from each other would be highly welcomed.
Mm-hmm. This one right here, this is the Magic Kingdom version from Walt Disney World, because the one in the Magic Kingdom, to me, this is what it looks like. I grew up in Florida and went to the parks often as a child, so this is what it should look like in my mind. Of course, those West Coasters would probably disagree with me.
Would you like a few fun facts about this picture, Jonas?
Sure.
That is an actual Civil War era hearse.
Oh, yes.
Legitimately used during that era. The building was designed, obviously using forced perspective, the way all Disney buildings are, but it was designed in a very specific way so that it would kind of loom over you. And on the door of the Haunted Mansion, if you look, there is a black wreath that's on the door. Now, that is not decorative. That is back during colonial times. They would hang a black wreath on the door, and it meant sickness or death inside. Enter at your own risk.
That's the kind of details that you don't get in modern Disney attractions.
Correct. I mean, they don't make them like this anymore. I mean, and as you go through that awning right there, that queue, you eventually get to the point where Liberty Square just disappears, and that was done completely intentionally.
Oh, that's so cool. So cool. That's why, just to go back to the article here, that's why major changes to the attraction story and overall presentation are often over-examined by the fan base and media. Are we the fan base and media?
I believe we are the fan base and media. Yeah, I mean, like when I wrote that line, I was thinking specifically of the little ring that was always in the ground in the queue that they fans invented a whole story around, to the point where when they redid the queue, they inserted a ring into the ground.
Yeah, that's an incredible bit of trivia. It's one of those things that it wasn't true, and then they made it true. Like
nowadays, if you tried to say, oh, this ring in the ground at this attraction means like this story, they would immediately go in and take it away.
Right. We'll just summarize this so we can get to the meat of this story here. And you can hear two grown men geek out over the Haunted Mansion and what used to be of Disney attractions in just a moment here. The original incarnation of the attraction is currently undergoing a massive refurbishment that began in January 2024. Now, because of this, there was a rumor out of WDWNT that we covered here on That Park Place that the original Haunted Mansion Vanilla, if I can be so offensive as to call it that, would not be coming back until 2025. And it sounds like that might be consistent.
Yeah, when the attraction opens, it's going to be Haunted Mansion Holiday. So that is the overlay that puts the Night Before Christmas characters in there. They do it every year. Starts around Halloween time and runs all the way through Christmas. And then, 2025, you got the regular Haunted Mansion back in January.
Now, here's the line that is so important. But when it resumes standard operations in 2025, rumors are flying that will come back without one iconic moment. This rumor was first reported by Walt Disney World News today. The stretching room is a hugely popular moment with guests infuriatingly in most instances, speaking along with the ghost host narrator as the room around them stretches to reveal ghastly portraits. I want to hear the ghost host say it, not you. Yeah,
That's one of my biggest Marvin the Movie Monster pet peeves is people that talk along with the ghost host. Don't do it.
Yeah, agreed. When I do this, I do it at home. I do not do it in the ride because the ambiance of the ride is so much better. It's not as big of a problem in Walt Disney World Resort as I'm imagining it is in Disneyland. But if you're hearing it, Marvin, I think you make your way to Orlando more often than I do, right?
Yes, yeah, I've got family, so I you know, I'm not too far from it, so it's a couple hour drive, so I'm able to get down there a lot. And yeah, no, I cannot tell you the last time I've been in the stretching room and people don't talk along with the ghost host.
Right, but
happens every time.
Oh man, I'm trying not to get into that spiel and geek out over that amazing Paul Frees voiceover there.
There's no turning back now.
But a major moment from this epic pre-show might not return. The hanging corpse that swings from a noose overhead may be permanently covered in response to, and emphasis here I'm going to put, internal concerns over sensitivity issues regarding self-deletion. Got to use that YouTube lingo. We've seen Disney go to great lengths to purge the parks of perceived problematic elements in the past, and it's usually not met with a lot of enthusiasm from fans. Most notably, Splash Mountain was closed and replaced with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, well, for all the reasons that confuse the rest of us. Splash Mountain, you have to be told what Splash Mountain is actually about because Disney hasn't even released that film on home media, except in Japan on Laserdisc, that being Song of the South. Marvin, have you seen the Country Bear Jamboree? That opened up on July 17th. Have you made it out there yet?
I have not. I'm purposely not watching because I want to do a full review for that park place. So I want to actually get down there sometime soon and just watch the show myself in order to see it. But I mean, I haven't heard bad things. Like people have said it looks pretty good. It sounds pretty good. So I'm willing to give it a chance. I mean, look, Country Bear Jamboree has been changed before. The first time I saw it was in 1987 when it was the Country Bear Vacation Hoedown. So when they were playing songs like On the Road Again.
Yeah. And I like the idea of that. But to return to this moment here from the Haunted Mansion, you know, it's funny. As a kid, I never actually understood what was going on up there. And by the time that I figured out what was going on, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess that guy died that way. Also, I wasn't sure that it was a moment of the guy doing that himself. You know, it is a haunted mansion that has at least more than one murderous ghost.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I never really got the sense that it was self-deletion. It's you know, it's an iconic moment that just appears above you in a really spooky. Look, the stretching room is about as scary as the Haunted Mansion gets. Like if your kid is going to freak out in the Haunted Mansion, it's going to be in the stretching room because once you get in there and the ghosts are like happily singing after you pass Madame Leota, it's not nearly as terrifying anymore.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The stretching room can be creepy. I remember as a kid, I was creeped out by it. But to remove that, I mean, there's no reason for it. There's no one calling for the removal of that element.
Right.
And I think we say later in the article that, like, you know, that one of the Imagineers was like, oh, well, you know, she floated the idea. She was like, well, it's on the table. We've considered removing it. And I'm like, okay, so she said that specifically to test the water to see how people would react to this happening.
Right. This is the kind of thing. Disney has a group inside of the company that we often bring up when we're talking about items like this. And you do an excellent job in you guys need to go read the article. If you want the absolute full context, obviously this is our discussion of the context and everything here, but you should go read the article. We'll link it down below. Disney has a group called Stories Matter that was initially created in order to help Disney avoid trouble spots, otherwise known as a sensitivity reader. Sensitivity readers globally have been known for things like editing Roald Dahl's work in order to make it more palatable to current audiences, or editing or pulling certain Dr. Seuss books from circulation. Sensitivity readers are controversial because it speaks to the idea that commercial art needs to stay relevant to the modern day at all times, and that we can never have a culture that acknowledges the problems of the past and says, oh, that was a thing that we probably wouldn't do now, or we can't accept anything from the past. It's a superior way of thinking about the current day versus the past. In fact,
right. And even when we examine the past, like, Doctor Who had to take Sir Isaac Newton and make him a black guy because, it has to be more reflective of modern times. Well, no, you're back in ancient times. Like, I don't know. It's a ridiculous thing that we are censoring ourselves just constantly over this kind of stuff.
Right. So I think this is something that Disney used to be so focused on show. Obviously, the Walt Disney World Resort version of this ride did not have the Hatbox Ghost for a very long time. The Disneyland version didn't have it for a very long time either.
Yeah.
But when they finally take this this amazing show effect and put it into the Walt Disney World version, instead of putting it in the part of the ride that makes sense with the story, instead they put it well before that. So they just have this.
You are not supposed to see a single ghost until Madame Leota summons them in the seance room. And the Hatbox Ghost is well before the seance room. And it bothers me, Jonas. Like, it bugs the crud out of me.
Thank you, sir. Now, Disney is obviously getting away from story and becoming a company that just has rides now. Tiana's Bayou Adventure ostensibly has some kind of story, but it's in the same level of any video game not made by Nintendo that is a platformer, that kind of story where it's just a randomized, generalized story as opposed to an actual story that they're evolving through the entire attraction here. I think Haunted Mansion, this is a lessening of the attraction. I'm going to say that. I don't think that this is great. I don't know how much it will affect things because most people are not there trying to, and you could probably hear on the mic that I just craned my neck here as I'm saying this. Most people are not staring up there if they know what's up there because it's a little uncomfortable to look up there and see the same find what was it? I leave you with this chilling conundrum.
Of course, there's always my way.
It's that right. Of course, there's always my way.
Of course, there's always my way.
I've had many arguments on whether that's a British accent or not. It's Paul Frees. It's not a British accent.
It's a Paul Frees accent.
Exactly. That being said, we want to throw this to our commenters here. What do you think about this this chilling conundrum? Should the Walt Disney Company update every single thing until the entire attraction, the entire theme park has nothing that could ever be considered offensive? Let us know in the comment section down below. And of course, I want to tell you all to go check out Tooneytown TV and Tooneytown Wrestling. Those are the channels where you can hear Marvin the Movie Monster on a much more frequent basis. Although I think I'd like to have Marvin over here on a much more frequent basis.
You just say the word and I'm there. I will always answer the call. Just I'll give you a signal to shine in the sky whenever you need me.
I would love to have a Marvin signal. All right, let's do that. Like the video if you like the video, and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.